this video I'll be explaining how to take a strut off a Civic. My Civic's a 93 and it's a DX 4-door. Alright, first thing you're gonna have to do to remove the spring is you're gonna have to compress it, and so you'll want to get a strut compressor like what I got here, and it'll come with a set of two. What you put the strut compressor on is you get one of them and you put the bottom end on the lowest part of the spring that you can get it on, lock that on. Then you get the top piece on the highest part of the spring that you can get it on, and you lock it, and then you tighten it until it's all the way down. Then you get the other one and you do the same thing, but you put it on the opposite side. So after you get them both on, you tighten them both down, and you gotta tighten them evenly. So like you'll tighten this one 5 turns and then tighten the other one 5 turns, and you continue that back and forth until it's compressed as much as you can get it. Then after you do that, there should be a bolt right here. The top of mine's broke off, but should be a bolt there. You take that off and you make sure that you have the strut compressed before you try to remove any bolts, because if it's not compressed then there'll be a lot of pressure on it and it'll break off like I found out it'll do, as you can see. So after you do that, then you're gonna have to go over here and unbolt the top half of the strut. So to get to it, first you want to take this little panel off that's for the brake light. Then you have to remove this whole piece, and it has these little tabs holding it, as you can see. These just pop right out, so you just grab it and pull it out. And this whole thing just comes off. Then the back here is where the top of the strut is. This rubber piece pops off, and it has a bolt on this side, a nut on the top. On the other side it has a nut just like this one. This piece you don't have to remove, this nut up here. This nut's for the bar that goes down into the strut that holds the spring on, and that's for the shock absorber. So you just remove this nut, you remove the nut that's on the other side. And then after you do that, you gotta work with it a little to pull the strut off, but it'll eventually come off if you get it in the right position. Alright, if you want to remove the whole rear axle, then you gotta compress the strut just like if you were gonna remove it. And then you would remove the strut, and then you would have to either unbolt this right here or unbolt the two that are right here, either way you want. And then you'd have to unbolt this right here, or you can unbolt it over here. And then under here there's 2 bolts you gotta take out. This one right here and this one over here. And then at the far back, you gotta take out this bolt right here. Or you can take it out over here. Either way. So after you remove those bolts, it should just come out. One thing to note whenever you're working on a car like this and you have it jacked up, you should always have a cinder block under it. I don't have one right now, but you should always have a cinder block in case the jack fails, so that if the car falls, it'll fall on the cinder block. And you should try to be under the car as little as possible, and avoid having any of your limbs under the car if it's not necessary. This is how the axle looks after you remove it. As you can see, that's where 2 bolts went under it, and the 1 bolt at the very end, and then there was a bolt up here, and the bolt down here. So after you take all those off, it should come right out. You might have to have a jack under it or something to catch it. Just make sure when you move it that it doesn't fall on you.